Hello, everyone, and welcome. We have you at another Integration Quest MuleSoft study group, and we're glad to have you. This is the data relay. We've been building it out. Angela has now come back, and she's doing part 5 of 6. She's here today to show us how Tableau and Slack are integrating, and she's going to integrate it together. I've already seen a lot of stuff that she's been working on. She's very thorough, very well mapped out, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what she has for us today. This is awesome. Thank you everyone for being here. I've got a couple things that I'm just going to go through as I always do. Everybody's been doing great with the Integration Quest Code of Conduct. Everybody's been saying and doing what their mom and dad would have asked them to do. So we'll just keep doing that. I really appreciate it. We all appreciate it. Thank you. Here's the library. I like to put this out here. We've got some more subscribers. I was just looking and happy to see you all. Thank you for joining us. And I hope that these videos are helping you. Please leave a comment. Let us know if you have any ideas, different study groups that you'd like to do in the future. We take special requests. Last week was a special request, and it just so happened that it was Ryan's turn to go. So he did a special request. So that happens. If there's something you're working on, need help with, whatever, let us know. We're glad to have you. Follow these links, subscribe, and hopefully these videos will help you. There's a lot of archived videos out there. And if you need something new, just drop a comment and let us know. So here's Angela today. She's coming back. And like I'm always saying, so she's got a lot of expertise. She's got a passion for what she's doing and what she's presenting on. And the fact that she is taking time away from her busy schedule and coming and hanging out with us and learning with us is just incredible. I really appreciate you being back here today with us, Angela. Thank you so much. And we're just going to turn this over to you. I'm going to stop sharing so you can start sharing and do exactly what I'm saying, which is giving back. Thank you.
Thank you so much, RJ. And it's a pleasure to be back with you all again. I had so much fun last time. I love this integration journey. I think that's a fabulous idea, and happy to be a part of it. As you were mentioning, over our last few sessions, we've covered some massive enterprise architecture. We showed you MuleSoft with Diane, and then Salesforce, and then how Slack sets the stage with Ali. So in our last webinar, I kind of grabbed that baton and showed you how to use Tableau. But this time is a little different. I'm going to go over a little bit of Tableau, but now we're going to kind of build that fully actionable dashboard and then kind of integrate it with Slack. We're going to do that leap. So starting with a little bit of an introduction, I just want to be honest, traditional business BI is broken, right? We've all been there. You wake up, you open up your laptop, and you're immediately drowning in 15 browser tabs and just trying to find 1 or 2 critical numbers. I think we might have talked about that. We spend weeks engineering these gorgeous charts, and then we wonder why teams don't log in to use them, right? I'm guilty of that. I love the creativity side of it, but people don't want to leave their conversations to go on a treasure hunt for insights. They just want the numbers right in front of them. They want their data to find them. For this project, I spun up a free Tableau Cloud site, a free, my private Slack workspace. So everything is free. You don't have to worry about any trials expiring if you use the sandbox versions of them. That said, sandbox versions are limited sometimes in what you can do in them. So we are going to do the best. We're going to do some workarounds to get past that. You might have also noticed that, first of all, I want you to think of your sandbox as your own private digital testing lab when you're here. It's an isolated playground where you can just have full admin keys to build and test and completely break things with absolutely zero risk of messing up your corporate data. So there's that. Right now, I'm showing you kind of behind the scenes where we're in the back piece of the Tableau dashboard. But what I wanted to bounce back to was we are going to use some other tools called the Slack Block Kit Builder, like a digital sketch pad. When we get to that, let me get to my agenda here. And then we are going to go from reports to updates. So one of the things we want to do is show you how to preview the report and make alerts. And then we kind of want to see how that looks on Slack to give you the bottom line. So I'm going to share some of the code that we use. And I'm going to use a site called make.com when we get there. But right now, you should be able to see my agenda. Are you seeing that right now? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. Hi, Diane. Did you
Hi. I made it. Sorry, it was a few minutes late.
No, that's okay. That's okay. So yeah, so I just went over the basic agenda that we're doing. I gave kind of a backstory, a history of what we've learned so far and what we're going to learn today. On the agenda, I posted some screenshots of what the alerts are going to look like on our phones, what they look like on my phone after we finished. And it's pretty cool. You'll see one of them is kind of like an alert, and the other one is actually the actual Tableau dashboard. So they come straight to your phone if you have Slack on your phone. So hopefully we can get there today. Any questions so far about that?
No, that is great. That's very exciting.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's kind of look at our core interface of our dashboard. So I'm going to go back into the edit portion of it. I didn't want this to look like a boring corporate spreadsheet. I wanted it to kind of feel like a sci-fi command center. So initially, when I taught the first time, we kind of started off with this global data relay, and it tracked latency and financial exposure. So if there were outages, failures, and it kind of went to the root cause. And at a moment, you could see the what, the why, and then what's next on this dashboard. If I expand it a bit. So this is what we went through last time. If you hover over a particular region, you'll see that it'll give you some information about that region, what's failing, what's working, and so forth. And I won't go through that again, but if we move over to our new dashboard, this is our new dashboard that we connected based on the Star Wars data that we got from MuleSoft. So it kind of went from MuleSoft to Salesforce and now to Tableau. And that was an easy handshake there. And I'll go through that whole handshake and everything. But first of all, I want to kind of go through the dashboard and tell you what it's telling us. We are looking at the revenue at risk by delivery status. And we're looking at how it triages out by supplier. A lot of times we might have 10 different dashboard sheets doing this. So what I did is I used the data and I hovered. You can hover over a particular location. For example, if I hover over this outer rim, if you hover over it, it's supposed to give you some more information. There it is. You see that the information at the top right, you'll see some information about the system outage, an anomaly detected by Han Solo, the mainframe log cargo. So it gives you all of the information that's in your data about what went wrong with this particular region, what protocol we should take next, execute immediate payload, manual refire. And I kind of kept this kind of cool in Star Wars terminology and made this, it looked like I took the data and kind of overlaid Star Wars visuals, Star Wars language. So it makes it kind of fun to learn, but it also gives you the insights that we're looking for. If we were to hover over another, like this location, W Warehouse Temple, same thing. You'll see now it's Mace Windu, whoever that is. I don't know that character. You guys might know that character, but
that's Samuel L. Jackson.
Oh, is that him?
Oh, is it?
Okay, I didn't know that.
Hey, don't worry, Angela. I'm in the same boat as you. I'm like, wow, cool.
I got your back on Star Wars.
There you go.
Okay, yeah. You guys help me with the Star Wars piece of it. Yeah. So yeah, so that's kind of what happens. Also, if you hover over it, you'll notice a couple other things happening at the bottom there. You'll also see some information popping up over the globe. It'll tell you information about even more information than what we have at top, like, the outage profile, the cargo classification, the sector supply, etc. So if you are, if this is real data and you are presenting this to an executive and you're trying to do an executive dashboard, these are the types of things that they want to see right away up front. They don't want to have to thumb through. They don't want to have to click anything much. They want to be, and it needs to be intuitive. So the color coding is intuitive, like the orange is exception, the gold is delayed, the gray is pending, and anything blue has been delivered, it's okay. Notice there's not much blue on this dashboard, and that's because when you're delivering to executives, you want to focus on what's being pulled out, what's standing out. They don't want to see everything that's working necessarily, although it's there in the background. They want to see what's standing out and what's not working. So that's something to think about when you're designing your dashboards, what's not working. So there we are with that. In the bottom left here, you'll also see that it's quite interactive. So whatever I hover over, it kind of changes everything. This is kind of a scatter plot. It's plotting our revenue at risk by our order amounts. So if it's at risk and that means it's orange or it's yellow, you'll see it's up here. You'll see that the higher the revenue at risk is, it kind of forms this trend up, and it's orange or yellow. But down here, these order amounts that are blue and gray, they're down here at the bottom. They're at 0. And if you hover over them, you'll see that they're either processing or delivered. They're not at risk at all. Another element that I added to this was the fraud. There's a couple of things that were at fraud risk, and they're reviewing them for fraud. One of them is actually an exception, and it's part of the revenue at risk. But there's actually one that was actually shipped that's also a fraud risk. So that might be an anomaly there. But again, the idea is to kind of just like let people decide what needs to be digged in a little bit deeper, how deep you need to go with these dashboards. You don't want to show them everything on the same thing at once. So many people probably have gotten these dashboards and they've gotten like sheets and lines of things, almost looks like spreadsheet on a dashboard. You don't want to do that. It's cognitive overload. So so I just wanted to show you that.
Yeah, that's really cool. I want to point that out too. It's a great point you're making, Angela, about your audience will determine what you show. And at our target audience for this, you want to, highlight the problem areas, what needs to be taken action upon, like you're saying. And so oftentimes when we're creating a dashboard, we might think that, oh, this is going to be valuable and we want to give them all the information they need, when really, like you say, it's more important to create it where it's meaningful for them and the problem areas to be able to resolve those, whatever's at risk.
Absolutely. And this Star Wars data was it's really cool because it gives us, it's fun to play with, right? But it also, I like the way you structured the data set because it gives us enough information to see by supplier, by delivery status, warehouse location, and also revenue and some other things too, that when you hover over it, they can pop up like in the tooltip there. I love to design where everything's not visible and you can dig deeper by either hovering or maybe a quick click or something like that. So yeah.
Nice. Very nice.
Yeah, thank you. So we're gonna actually move on there. From there, one of the things that we are going to look at is Tableau Pulse. Now, we don't go directly from Tableau to Slack. You have to there's kind of a middleman there, if you will. And Tableau Pulse is that middleman. Also, we have Tableau Next. With your sandbox environment, Tableau Next is out of the question. It's more robust. You have to have a Salesforce or Tableau Plus license to get that, or through the Salesforce package, or you can get it separately. That wouldn't make much sense though. But in the sandbox environment, it's just simply not available. So we've had to kind of do a few workarounds here, and we're going to go through Tableau Pulse. And I'll show you that. So give me a moment here. So from our dashboard, I'm in the Tableau sandbox. If you go to Explore, you will see a little menu here. Might look a little bit familiar. Can you see my menu? Are you still seeing that?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. This actually has a lot of things on there. What we want to do is scroll all the way down. You'll see your dashboards and your data sets on this Explore tab. So I put them all on my default tab. So if you click on that default tab, you'll see the little thumbnails of my dashboards and the sheets. You'll also see the data set. If you look at like live connection, for instance, I wanted to show you, I think that's interesting. And you click edit data source. I pull this straight from either Google Sheets or Excel. So yeah, so this is the data. Real quick, I won't spend too much time, but you see how it comes through in like all the fields come through. And simply to create that dashboard that, you know, whatever you're working on, I'm not going to go through all of it, but you would just drag and drop different things on there, all of the fields that you're using, and create, you know, your masterpiece. What you need to do when you get back to the dashboard is, so that's the data. When you get back over to your dashboard, you would just click on one of the tabs there, and all right, you would go into the edit mode. It would be blank, obviously. And when you're in the edit mode, you would go to a blank sheet. I'll just go to any one of them.
So that is actually, this is now the edit version of what we saw in the actual dashboard, right?
This is correct. This is correct.
Cool.
Yeah. And then you'll see both of our data sources up here at the top. So if we wanted to get that data that you provided that I just showed you in the data source, it's in here now, but you would just go into new data source.
And Angela, I was following before we had the screen sharing thing. You were making a point about Tableau Pulse.
Yes. Yeah. I kind of got off on a tangent there.
And
yeah,
I want to make sure I understand what you were trying to tell me. Yeah.
For Tableau Pulse, and we'll get to that in a second. I kind of jumped around a bit. Tableau Pulse is you can find that in your sandbox environment or maybe in Tableau Public, and with certain subscriptions and licenses. It's the free thing that comes with Tableau. The one that is very robust is Tableau Next. And, you know, I was going to save all of that for last, but Tableau Next is, you have to get a Salesforce subscription or a Tableau Plus subscription. It's kind of pricey. It doesn't come with the normal Tableau Public or what we're using right now in the sandbox, but that Tableau Next will allow you to be more interactive with your metrics in Slack. They have it built in. But it's not native to Slack. And one of the things I was going to mention is a lot of people have been talking to Tableau about that. In order to break past those limitations, you have to do a lot of manual manipulation and go to other sites on there. So hopefully soon they will make Tableau Pulse either more interactive like Tableau Next, or you'll be able to get Tableau Next native in your with your Tableau subscription. So, and you don't have to, you know, get a Salesforce Plus or Tableau Plus subscription.
So for the relay, we're using Pulse, no subscription.
We're using Pulse, yeah.
But I don't see it on the screen, and I'm new to Tableau. So how do I know I'm using Pulse?
Great question. Yeah, I was just kind of going through the dashboard a little bit, but if you want to go, we're going to go back out here.
No. I don't mean to take you off course. Before we had the screen share, you mentioned it, and it might have just been a teaser for later in the relay. I'm fine with that. I just wanted to make sure I want to make sure I follow what you're doing. So we're in the dashboard, setting up a data source.
Yeah, we were at a data source, but okay. Just let me get back in there. I just wanted to kind of backtrack a little bit. I'm skipping around to show you where the data source fits into your dashboard. I didn't want to spend much time there, but just as a quick review, that's where the data source would be. Like if you're on a sheet, you would go into data and you would, I have my data sources already here, but you would go to new data source. And you got a choice. Either you might have some that are already uploaded to the web and they'll all be listed here. For example, I've loaded that MuleSoft agent up here to the web as an Excel spreadsheet. So it's already here. I would just click on that if I wanted to add it to a new dashboard or any dashboard, which is very nice. Or you could search for it in a file. And this is where you could upload it from your computer. If you click upload from computer and you go to your documents or wherever, Google Sheets or whatever you're saved there, or you've got some connectors, you've got some APIs, several of them. If you wanted to go to SQL or Google, or you'll see a ton of them there, Databricks, all of these, you can pull in your data. So I just wanted to show everyone how you would pull in your data there. So any questions about that before I go on to Tableau Pulse?
No, so well, the only more of a comment, I guess.
Sure.
To me, when I was learning Tableau, that was one of my aha moments of really where you can bring the data in and then be able to visualize this data with many different sources, really.
Absolutely. Yeah. So that's really the cool part of Tableau. You're not limited on your data sources. And I guess the biggest piece what I preach is with dashboards, and when you're doing these types of dashboards, you want to make sure that you're answering a business question. So you want to answer the what's going wrong, the why, and then you want to give them a what's next. And I think, even though it's, like kind of decorated and everything, you're still doing that because you are able to, answer the what, like what's going wrong with the revenue. Let me pull that dashboard up again. Yeah, so you're able to, this is not the new one, but you're able to actually do the what, the why does this matter, the financial exposure, and then the what's next. How do we act on this instantly? When you hover over something, what happens instantly? So that's kind of what I was trying to get across there. I think I lost my other dashboard. That was the final one. There we go. The best laid plans. Yeah, here we go. So yeah, so when you hover over it and you get those additional insights that pop up, that's the what's next. That's the best thing, that's the most thing that I can emphasize. I want to emphasize that greatly. What's next is the most important thing from these dashboards. Otherwise, you're just doing like pretty designs. For the image, for instance, I brought in just an image that I created on AI of Star Wars. They wouldn't let me do any Star Wars characters. Obviously, they have copyrights, but I wanted to give it that starry look and overlaid it behind there. But so we're showing what the insights are. So if we're going over back to Pulse, I want to go back and show you Pulse before we run out of time. I don't want to spend too much time. If you go over into your menu here, you'll see that if you scroll down a bit, you'll see Tableau Pulse. And you can click on that. You'll see like new metric definition. This kind of brings us to the cutting edge of analytics. If you've never heard of Pulse, I'm getting back to that, Ryan. I kind of want to demystify that. It's kind of like a personalized algorithm newsfeed for your data. Just like you scroll through status updates on your phone, or Pulse creates these individual scrollable cards for the most important numbers that are on your dashboard. So it's not the whole dashboard. It's just giving you kind of a piece of that for the most important metric. Yeah, so you can do it either through a subscription, conditional thresholds, and I'll show you either one. You can also do a dashboard in a subscription and do an alert on your dashboard. So they kind of they work in tandem. Just kind of depends on what you want to look at. If you want to see the whole dashboard or if you want to see a pulse. So the first thing is we open the Pulse platform. Then we want to define the core metric. So here's the new metric definition here. All right, and so we want to search for our data source. And I've called it Data Relay Tableau Slack 5. That's our data source. And we're going to connect. And then you give it a name like new metric. And you can give it a description if you like. I won't do that. You can even add a link to like an external source. If someone wants to click on some external data like surveys or something like that, I won't do that today either. And then you select the value. So we've got all these values here. What do you want to report on? Last time I reported on revenue, I think, revenue at risk. But if you want to do, let's just do that now since we're here. Just saw it. There we go. Revenue at risk. All right. You see the normal aggregation is sum. That's a default. But you can change that to average, medium, whatever you like there. Over time is usually, sometimes you want the latest point in time, but over time might be good today. And then running total, and then time dimension. We've got 3 different dates in your data. So created, order timestamp, or updated at, I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to put the order timestamp for now. As I fill these in, you'll see that it's filling in something on the right here, but it's saying no data is available there yet. And that's because it looks like the date is not lining up for that current period. So we're going to have to go in and change the date in another screen and make it daily. And I'll do that in a second. So no matter which date source we click, it's not going to work there. And down here, you can select some filters that you want to filter it by. If you want to filter it by customer name or something like that, we could do that. All right, so I'm going to go to the next screen. All right, the time series adjustment. This is where we fix that. You see it's fixed. I want to make it dynamic. And the minimum time is a day. The granularity is a day. And you'll see it kind of shaping out there. You can do it by month, etc. I'm not sure how this is going to shape out because I'm doing it on the fly, but that's kind of how you would set up your metric, week, whatever. Yeah, something like that. So if you wanted to look at it by week, and then you can compare it to a prior period. Right now, it's kind of limited, either prior year or nothing. But again, it's kind of limited here. But you go to next. You can put a goal or a threshold here. And the value of that goal or threshold has to be in your data already. You can't just randomly put a number there. So it would have to be a field that you would create in your data. So if this is the revenue at risk, if you wanted to compare it to a gross amount, you could do that. That's probably not going to give you much of a comparison. They might be actually the same, similar, but something like that. We can do order timestamp. There we go. So you see, as we fill these in, you're getting a more robust card. Then you would click next. All right. And then these are just more dimensions that you can adjust. I'm going to leave these as they are because it gives you kind of robust information without filling this in, and I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to click next. Oh, it's saying a record identifier is required. I'm just going to click on these dots here and turn it off so it's not required. There you go. And click next.
Good to know that you can do that too, by the way.
Yeah.
Those are those little hints and secrets along the way. It's like, oh.
Yeah.
So AI is assisting to build this out too, correct? As you're doing this.
This is correct. Yeah, it's AI is assisting within Tableau with Tableau Pulse. Again, Tableau Next is far more mature of a product, I will say. And not to dwell on that, this product was made for the sandbox version, but the mature product is Tableau Next. But we don't have access for purposes of teaching. We want to roll out the sandbox so people can have that on their computer and play with it if they don't have a subscription. So that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that's great. I know sometimes it's challenging when you have to, get a license and you can't reach it, but it is good to see capabilities for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. This is kind of what is possible in a static form. And Tableau Next is actually doing it. So, but this is what is possible. And it's pretty good. It gives you our metric, tells you how much of our goal is met, gives you some more information. The AI part, Diane, it's pretty cool, is discover the top insights. That's where we get into these questions that you can ask here. Which customer had a low new metric? Which customer had a high new metric? It puts some charts out there, just what they think you might see, but you can ask these. There's some other questions that you can click on and get more insights. It says just 3 members in the customer full name make up the majority of the new metric with 1.3 thousand, 25%, et cetera. So that's not very helpful. What it's telling us, it's just kind of sorting it by the name, but you can say which one had the high metric. I'll click on that and you'll see Han Solo had the most. I think I used gross orders or something, gross revenue, and then Cassian and Yoda, C3PO, etc.
Han Solo likes money, so that makes sense. All the other ones don't.
That's funny. So this is kind of how that pulse metric works. And if you scroll down, you'll get some more metrics there. So any questions there? It defines a core metric for you. We just kind of filtered and configured that. So going back to the cloud, you can go back to the cloud. You need to do a few things though before you make it interactive with Slack. One of the things is if you scroll all the way down to your settings here, you'll see a menu pop up. You'll see a ton of things, tabs at the top there. We want to go to the one that says integrations. You'll see connect to Salesforce and scroll down to where it says Slack connectivity there and Tableau for Slack. I'm already connected to Slack, but if you were not connected, it would say connect to Slack and the Slack workspace. Once you make that handshake, it'll ask you which workspace you want to be connected to if you have multiple ones. And once that handshake is done, it's done and it automatically sends you those alerts according to what you have defined here in Tableau Cloud. So there's nothing you have to click any further in Tableau or Slack. You would set those up kind of behind the scenes here in notifications. In My Account settings, you go to My Account settings. There's a couple of alerts. It shows you what alerts are, but you would go to your notifications. Let's see if I can find those. Settings. You have to scroll a little bit for this. They're kind of in the middle of the page here, and you'll see preferences. You'll see notification option on Tableau, email, or Slack. I've clicked pretty much everything. So I'm going to get an email. I'm going to get a Slack alert for everything that I want, that I set up a subscription for, or an alert. Send email when a subscription is suspended. You've got a whole bunch of other choices here, and you can set it up the way you like. And by default, the alerts are set up to go automatic or automatically dismissed too. So there's some choices there. I won't go through all of them, but this is kind of how you make that handshake. It's really easy. It'll ask you to put in, I think, your Slack credentials as well as your Tableau credentials. And it's a 2-second handshake there. So any questions about that?
No, I think very similarly when we were, integrating with even Slack at first, it's kind of, once you make that handshake, it's there. Like, so I imagine like with this as well, once you go through and give permissions, then like you said, then you've got that integration done very nicely, easily connected.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. One of the things that, I took it to another level since this is not Tableau Next, Tableau Pulse. I'm going to go and show you my Slack screen if I can. So if you were to click in a channel or something that you set up, one of the things you would first have to do is set up Tableau and Tableau for Slack. And you would have to do that through your apps in Slack. So if you would go to Agents and Apps and browse apps, you would see Tableau listed here. You would have to get insights from Tableau directly in Slack. You would click on that and you click Open App in Slack. I've already done that. So that's one thing you would have to do first. The other thing is it would come through kind of like a regular, you see this PTO login relapse or revenue at risk right here that I'm kind of hovering over. It comes through kind of like this, and you'll have options to either download it in the cloud, open in a new window, or copy it or hide it. If you download it in the cloud, it'll just go back to Tableau Cloud. But if you open it in a new window in Slack, it kind of comes through, it's not really robust enough for me. So what I want to do is I kind of jerry-rigged it a little bit. So you want it to come through more robust. I kind of created this, as I scroll down, I'm going to go back to the general channel here, a card. And you see this card here, it says Star Wars Operations Agent, System Alert. This is kind of cool. These are the kind of things. These are the kind of.
I like that. So it would actually populate in just like a thumbprint or something, but you expanded on that more. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly.
Cool. Yeah.
I expanded because again, we're limited using Tableau Pulse in Slack. It interacts, but it doesn't give you enough, and it's static. So. Right. Yeah, right. I created kind of a card in order to do
clever.
that.
Look at you. Now, where is this card created, on the Slack side?
Getting to that. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm sorry. I'm getting ahead. You tell I'm into it. I'm just a little into it.
No, I'm glad. I'm so glad that you're into it. So
yeah, this is cool.
This is kind of where it gets a little hairy, and I don't necessarily want to walk a class through this because for teaching purposes, they shouldn't have to do this. Their data engineers are going to do this probably for them, or they're going to use Tableau Next. But if you are a data engineer, it might be interesting to you.
Right.
So, that's why I'm going to go through that.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So one of the things we have to do is I'm going to go over to the Slack. There's a block kit builder. I always have trouble saying that. And this block kit builder is also connected natively with Tableau Cloud. It's kind of like a helper, and it kind of lets you design, think of it as like Canva for Tableau. It lets you design cards, and there's one of two ways you can do it. You can either drag your fields or create your own fields if you like by input or card and carousel, and just dragging these fields over and playing with them a lot. Or, there's a lot of different fields you can do. You can do labels and so forth. What I'm going to do though, however, and I'm not going to use the builder at all, really, because it kind of like you're building it from scratch, piece by piece. I went and I used, this is where AI comes in, and it's very helpful. I got some code and I prompted for a code to type in, and I think RJ, I put that code in my prerequisites, and all you would do is copy and paste that code. I think, let me go back and find it. That code in the
preview.
In the preview here. Yeah, excuse me.
Wow.
In the preview, and this is not the exact code I'm looking for, but I'm trying to find my code. Preview. Give me a second. I'll find the exact code. And I put that in the. I did put it in the prerequisite. Just a moment. I'll go back and get that code later, so I can't find it. But if it's in the chat, I think I can go to the chat. Going back to.
Or did you have access to it? That you sent us to that. Let me get my words out right. You sent us that in Slack, right?
I did.
Okay, let me find it. I'll see if I can put it up here for us.
Yeah.
I shared it in this chat as well.
There you go. Okay.
You got it. Okay. Cool. Let me see if I can get to the chat without messing up everything.
It'll be in there.
Yeah, give me a second. See if I can get to the chat. I'm going to have to maximize the window to get to the chat. Just want to copy it.
So that's like a preview to what it's going to look like in the card. So this block of code, so to speak, is like, I see where this is going.
Yeah, cool. It's a template. It's a template. Yeah, and you can design this however you want. I kind of gave it instructions as to how I wanted it or how I thought it should look. And
nice.
And we go back to our block kit builder, and we just erase anything that might be in there already. It looks like it's got some recipes or something in there.
That's actually, I called it something wrong. That's actually the payload. And this is JSON format here that we're seeing.
It's JSON format, yeah.
Then it should populate some errors. Line 1. Something's up with line 1.
I wonder cut off. It looks like it has some errors, but bottom line is
we get the idea.
Yeah, you would paste it in there and you would click preview in Slack. And once you had previewed it in Slack, you could go back to your Slack account. And this is how it would look.
Cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
That is really cool. I'm just a little impressed. Can you tell?
Yeah, I'm glad. I don't, I hesitate to go through all of this technical stuff because, again, Tableau Next will do it natively, but I wanted to make sure, I wanted to let you know what's possible. Yeah, we can make that connection. Another thing that I kind of went and did, you'll see that these cards are kind of also, they're a little bit static, but if you once you make that connection, you'll see if you click the /, you have Pulse and Tableau Surge, Tableau Help. If you click this Pulse, since we are connected to this Star Wars operations agent that we created, if you click that, first it'll give you that same card again, and you'll see one new message, and it should give you that card depending on
operations accepted.
Yeah. And then the other thing you can do is like do Pulse / hopefully this will work / it did earlier today. And instead of Yoda, I'm going to just type, let's see, C3PO. Didn't do it.
Name spelling, maybe? Is his name?
Could be. Let me just try.
Is there a dash on his name? Of course, with the Star Wars figures, or their names, you would think we'd know how to spell them, but they're unusual names.
Yeah, it might be due to This block kit might be due to me pasting over or the code not working properly. But if I were to type that, it's usually cool. Like I can change it from Yoda to Skywalker. You'll see Obi-Wan here. And then if I scroll up, I was changing it to Skywalker.
Okay.
Yeah. So if I was on my machine, I think it
Oh,
would
I
work.
see it. I see. Yeah. Because you're saying, oh, you know what? You also have show me. Does that matter? Pulse, show me, Obi-Wan?
I can try it. You might be right. Let's see. Let's do show me Skywalker. I didn't make it case sensitive. So, oh, there we go. Oh, thank you, Diane.
Okay, cool.
Thank you.
It happens all the time to me. No worries.
I'm
Cool.
doing it
So,
from memory. So yeah, if you want to do, give me another character. Somebody shout it out. Like,
oh gosh, Ryan, we need another character.
Obviously Princess Leia.
All right, just probably Leia, right? I don't know if we did Princess.
Yeah, you spelled it right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It didn't do Princess Leia, but yeah, I kind of typed in Leia, but it didn't do the one that is coded in our data. So I forget how I have it coded in the data.
Well, you could do Mace. You didn't list Mace yet, right?
Let's see. Pulse.
This is so cool. This is so cool.
I know.
Mace.
How do you spell it, Ryan? Mace. Oh yeah, that's good.
I saw him in the data. Why didn't it find Mace Windu? We have to spell it right. It was Mace Windu. When with a U.
I did make it. Yeah, it was Mace Windu. Show me. Skywalker. See, it did Luke Skywalker. Okay, at Paul. Show me Yoda. Yoda. I know Yoda. See, and then it put Grandmaster Yoda, so it recognized Yoda. So it recognized Yoda and Skywalker. Show me.
It's weird to me because I saw Mace Windu. I know he's in the data.
Yeah,
I know he's in there too, and I have a string. I set it up for a string so you wouldn't have to type the whole one, but the whole name. But apparently, it's not recognizing that string right now, so that's okay.
Well, and that one worked, right? Target entity Windu.
Well, it didn't put his whole name.
I gotcha.
When it's pulling from the data, you'll not only notice the name changes there, you'll notice that the credits at risk number changes and also the cargo profile. So the data actually changes. You'll see this one is 890,000. This one is 12,000. So it'll all change. If it's just a generic one, it'll say this 5398. So
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, you guys kind of see how that works.
Get the idea. Yeah.
So yeah, so to be completely candid again, the native integrations are still maturing and structure, as I've said like several times during this, they're locked down from reading the data rows in Tableau in the sandbox. So I kind of had to do a custom workaround.
Yeah.
But as a caveat, I know Tableau Next can handle these features inside of Slack. And this kind of gives you a preview. If you are, if you have Tableau Next or access to that in your corporation, it's on the standard cloud, or, you'll be able to get these features. So.
Excellent. Well, and a lot of times too, like you say, especially for educational or demo purposes, we would need to do something like this. For professionally, if someone is even, considering upgrading and getting Tableau, next, and they want to do that, then there may be, a period of time that we can at least show them some capabilities, right?
Absolutely. And if I'm invited back, I would love to show Tableau Next. If I get Tableau Next, but that's something that is, it's way cool too. So, but it's basically the same thing, but would be able to interact with those metrics right here on Slack.
Nice.
Another thing that I kind of wanted to show you is if you're not doing Pulse, I mentioned earlier that you can do Tableau dashboard. And if you click Tableau search, and I'm gonna data relay, I think if you have it in your menu, it should pop up, but I had to repopulate everything so it doesn't remember it on a new computer.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
That's neat.
So bear with me.
So it'd be like options there.
Yeah, it would be an options you could drop down. So my workbook is data relay Tableau Slack new. So I'm going to click that. You can either click that and it'll go to the Tableau Cloud and it'll go to your workbook, which this is the spot where we were. Or if I didn't want that, I could click share. And like share in a message or like share content or something like this. I'm just going to click share content. And it gives you, you see these channels popping up here. These are my channels in my Slack workspace.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to put it like in random. I've already got it in general and click share content.
So you could either send it as a direct message or in a channel.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And then I got this direct, it's 12:01 my time. I've got this message from the Tableau app saying I can share it, I can do other things with it, and it's only visible to who you share it with. So I'm going to click on this share with snapshot. I went back, sorry.
Oh, okay. Generating chat snapshot.
Yeah. It should appear.
There
right?
we go.
There we go.
Ah!
And that's so cool. That's a little bitty thumbnail of our Star Wars dashboard that I created right here. And then you've got some more options right on the top there in the tab. I can either click to open in Tableau, which when we're in Slack, that's kind of defeating the purpose. I'm here to show you what you can do in Slack, right? If you wanted to go to Tableau, you could do that. Or you could share it, view the file, more actions, or you could open it in a new window. But yeah, I just wanted to show you kind of, if I click on it, it opens it in a new window in Slack.
Yeah.
And we're still in Slack, but it looks exactly. It should, like the Tableau dashboard in Tableau Cloud. And if I wanted to interact with it, obviously I cannot interact with it in Slack. However, this little cloud symbol down here at the bottom right, either you can click it on in your message. Oh, it's very, very slow. But if you click this little cloud, it will take you to the dashboard in the cloud. Come on. And there we are. It's got all three tabs because I've got three different dashboards in the same workbook, but this is the dashboard.
And now it's interactive.
Now it's interactive. You'll see, because now when I hover over it, now it's a little bit faster. You'll see that, Chewbacca and so forth. Also notice the choice of colors. This might not be very important to some, but when you're a data developer and a designer, your choice of colors matters. And it matters because when you're telling the story, first of all, I'm using dark mode on a dark screen. So your colors have to stand out, but not be so bright that it's cognitive overload. So you have to pick the right choice for colors. Also, they have to make sense. So all throughout the dashboard, you'll see this kind of burnt orange and gold means there's a problem. Even when I hover over the location, when you see it within the writing that pops up at the top, the little text box, you'll see Yoda is in orange. That's intentional. And if I hover over kind of a gold box, you'll see Mace Windu is in gold. So even the writing, you want to make sure it's consistent so people don't get mixed messages. If I have all kinds of yellow and green and everything, people are going to get confused. you want the message to say, these are the ones that stand out and these are the exceptions. So
Yeah. In some of the first Tableau courses I took, there is a lot about color and visibility, and even, if someone's colorblind, there's a lot about that. And we need to remember that when we're dealing with dashboards, because it is so visual. It is a visual representation. And so you learn about all of that too, which I think is a great point, that you mentioned in regards to that. As opposed to making it just look pretty, there's meaning behind it, right? There's a whole strategy. Yeah, absolutely. Which it is very pretty too. It's very eye appealing. Let's put it that way,
Yeah, thank you. I could have, you could just drag these out and you would have fields on there, but you're exactly right. You want to do both. You want to combine both. So
yeah.
So I kind of skipped I probably didn't go through everything because a lot of it is technical, but one more thing that I think I did not show was in the interim when you're doing that handshake and when I was creating those cards, there is another besides the block kit, there is the Slack API that it might require you to set up behind the scenes to get that Star Wars operations agent working with the block kit. So there's a number of things you kind of have to do. In this Slack API, if you go to the app home, it'll kind of give you the app display name, and here's my Star Wars operations agent. You have to kind of, this adds that token. This is kind of the connecting piece to everything. So it's kind of the middleman that kind of completes that handshake between Tableau Cloud and Pulse and Slack, and also the block kit, which is kind of extra credit. So,
okay.
Yeah.
I have heard about the Slack API and I had never really worked with it. I've seen a few demos on it, but it's a great exposure to see it. I think maybe we need another. It's always like seeming like there's going to be another iteration in some point, but it's good. I've not explored it myself, so be interesting to see.
Yeah, it's very quick. Just click a few things and add in what you want to call your app, and it's created in like half a second. It's very quick. You need it might ask the first time it might ask you for OAuth and permissions. There's so many screens here. I don't want to go through them all because that would take too much time. But
right.
Yeah. So that's basically what I had to show you here. And I guess in closing, I think to summarize all of this, we took, let's see, go back to my spreadsheet. We successfully took our live enterprise data streams, turned them into high account dashboards or high contrast dashboards with hidden hover insights. We pinned those to our automated Tableau Pulse metrics. We engineered an instant conversational messaging agent inside Slack that completely breaks down our traditional navigation barriers that we have with Tableau Pulse. So with that, you're able to instantly communicate insights to whoever needs them. Maybe you need it or your executives. So thank you for your time today. I would love to open up the floor to any questions.
I don't have any questions myself. Ryan or RJ or anyone, if you are watching the video later, I know a lot of people always mention they do that. Put your question in the comments.
That's right.
Yeah.
Drop them down there. The only question I had was if that code was aggravating it, disturbing it, if it wasn't working right. I did upgrade it. I updated it to where it doesn't have like those spaces or whatever. So, I would just be curious to see if that would clear it up. But I think that's what it was. I think that's why it was showing all those red lines. I took it out of that code block and put it right in that document to where people can just grab it and put it in there without spacing. So I'm curious to see that work. So
Oh, thank you. Thank you for doing that. Yeah. If you're following along and, it's fast paced, this takes, a while to set up. I do have the step-by-step instructions that I'll share with Ryan and, with RJ and Diane. And I'll put those, I'll send those to them so you can follow along.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that sounds great. Yeah, sometimes when you copy code like that, many times I've noticed that, like, if I copy it from a source that has like the carriage controls and, hidden characters that we don't always see, but that are part of that actual copy instance. And then when I try to paste it in to use it, it's thrown off by those, like what you're saying, RJ. So you kind of stripped it from any of those extra things. Yeah, it's an anomaly I've dealt with a lot in teaching, and I've had to strip things out.
I think when you're talking to it and asking it for, certain people, I think it'll start coming through clearly.
Yeah.
That's what. Good deal. I always open up the question answer time, but I feel like the questions were being asked as we went. So I really like that too. I love the interaction. Thank you for being here, by the way, because you talking to my mom right now, she's gone through all this Tableau and she knows a lot more about it. Angela obviously knows a lot more than all of us. And I'm just like here learning. So I'm taking stuff in. I didn't have much to ask because it's all so new to me. So thank you for being here. And Ryan, you as well. You were contributing as well. Really always appreciate it. If there isn't any other questions, I'm going to roll on and just give a sneak peek on what's going on next week.
Let me share, before you do, time out 1 second. Let me share something. And this is a testimonial of the importance of dashboards. In one of the sales environments I was in not long ago, the idea came about to throw together a dashboard, to really show the impact of the automation and integrations that we plan to do. And you know what? That dashboard spoke volumes to the C-suite. That was like the conclusion of the whole sales pitch and the demo of the art of possibilities. But when it came down to that dashboard, that's when the C-suite stakeholders honed in on certain values. So I'm telling you, many times, we're all into integrations and we're all into making all those integrations happen. And that's great. And we need them. But the vision to bridge the gap of what we're doing deeper in the technology to the C-suite are the dashboards. And I think that we sometimes, I know myself included, we sometimes, overlook the importance of that. But I saw how it resonated in the environment I was in recently. And that's what caught their attention. So years ago, we're talking probably now 3 years ago, I took some of the Tableau classes because I wanted to show the results of the metrics toolkit.
Sure.
And so I love that you're sharing this and showing us how it can be integrated now easier into Slack, and where we can really be able to have that, visibility and, make it more accessible, I guess you could say, with the data. So more to come, Angela. I have more questions for you. So this has been great. I'm so glad I was able to be here. So anyway, I just wanted to share that.
Thank you.
It shows the importance of this, it really does.
Yeah.
Makes a big difference. So if anybody watching this in the future needs that big difference, go for it.
Yep.
Awesome. I'm going to give that sneak peek. Here it is. This is what's going on next week. We have Francis Edwards. He hasn't been as a presenter in a while in the study group. So we're glad to have him back. He's going to be doing part 1 of handling some MuleSoft custom policies. And this is part 1. So it's going to build out. He's saying there will be a part 2 and maybe even a part 3. So I'm really liking these, series that we're doing because it catches everybody's interest and we just keep on flowing through it. So he's already been sharing with me what he's planning on with this, and it's looking really good. So we will be doing that in 7 days. So you all make sure you keep your calendars clear and come and join us. Again, thank you so much, Angela, for coming back. And that if you're invited back, are you kidding me? You're family now. So if you have more that you'd like to share, I was looking and we've got Allie coming back for the part 6 of this part 6 series on the data relay. But if there's more to share on Tableau, which it sounds like there is, yeah, we'll talk. We'll get together on that. So I'm going to stop the recording.